What's up, guys? Welcome back to this episode of the Road to Redemption podcast. I'm, as always, your host, Cam Williamson, and I'm very excited to be here with you today. I'm sad that we are here under the conditions that we are. We're going to be talking exclusively about everything going on inside of the United States of America right now. The George Floyd case, the protests going on across the country, and everything that I feel about that. For a long time, guys, I stayed out of politics. I didn't get involved in it. I still don't get involved in a lot of politics. I don't think this is a political issue. This is a humanity issue, right? George Floyd was murdered in the middle of the streets of Minneapolis by a police officer who happened to be white. George Floyd was black. This has started a big issue, right? Police brutality against the black community. Valid point. I stand with you 100%. That is a thing that happens when people start to come out, especially white people, start to come out and say, hey, yes, this is a problem. We have a problem with police abusing their power in black communities. A lot of people go, well, people get killed of all races by police. And then the black community will go, well, it happens more to us. And then white people go, here's a fact, more white people get killed by police. What are we doing? Right? What are we doing there? We're trading. My emotional tie is more important than your emotional tie. My important thing is more important than your important thing. What stems from that right there? Racism. We're talking about being different because of our skin color, and we're trading who suffered more. Well, that's like when you go down to the bar and with your friends and you go, my job sucks. Yeah, man, my job sucks too. My boss sucks. Yeah, man, my boss sucks too. Yeah, man. You're sharing in this negativity bullshit that at the end of it, everyone's left feeling icky, right? It just feels shit because no one should do that to one another. You shouldn't try to bond over suffering unless you're going to use it to overcome it, right? So I've had tons of friends come at me and go, Cam, why do you care, man? Why do you get so fired up? You and your social media stuff, man. Guys, a man was murdered on the streets. I'm a veteran of the United States Army, right? I'm 100% disabled through the VA, recently. 100% disabled through the VA for PTSD. I'm a veteran, a military police officer at that, deployed to Guantanamo Bay, worked corrections, and had to deal with the worst people that have ever tried things against America. Right? So I know a little bit about law enforcement. I know a little bit about the mindset behind it, and I have plenty of civilian law enforcement friends that were with me in Guantanamo Bay. So it's not that I don't know the culture of law enforcement. Now, how can I connect to any culture that may be upset? Well, I can't connect to the black culture because I'm not them. I grew up with plenty of black people, Mexican people, plenty of minority groups, but I am not them. I have never walked a day in a black man's shoes. I do understand, right? My mom used this example, and I like it, so I'm going to use it. If I walk into a gas station at 11 p.m., right? And I just walk in the door. And then a black man walks in that same door behind me. Regardless of what neighborhood we're in or what we're wearing, if we're wearing the same thing, right? Take all bullshit that you want to try to put into it away. If I walk into a gas station at 11 p.m., tattoos and all, I will still not get the same automatic consideration that something may happen poorly because I'm there than if a black guy walks in. People will automatically assume something negative about him before they will be. Now, the only counterpoint to that was, if I'm in downtown Compton at 2 a.m. and I walk in, sure, there may be a problem, but it's probably because they think I'm somebody who's there to oppress them, right? That's where the problem has come in. I have never walked into a gas station and anyone been afraid that I'm going to kill them immediately just because of the way I look. Probably not. We all get what I'm saying, right? Here's the point. This is the stuff I don't understand. I understand supporting law enforcement in this time. I do. To put up a post right now saying Blue Lives Matter, you're wrong for that. Now, Blue Lives do matter because they're human beings. But you are being an antagonist against the point, right? I'm not saying that police lives don't matter. Saying police lives matter or blue lives matter is like saying all lives matter right now. All lives mattering is not the fucking point at hand. The point at hand is, in black communities, police come in and kill them a lot, unjustly. The argument that, now guys, I'm going to play a lot of devil's advocate here, so you're going to hear me go back and forth with myself because I don't have a co-host and it's just me. So, and I like that. I like the mental exercise of doing that. That's what makes me me, because I want to do that. I want to go back and forth. So, let's play, right? Let's play. We're in. We're in. We're in, baby. We're going to end the show on a light note, don't worry. We're in. So, the argument to that is, right, in minority communities, crime is much higher, right? So therefore, that's why the presence is there. That's why, in that area, more violence and violence against police is known to have happened. That's why they come in so hot in that area, right? Now, why can I connect to the communities that may be upset with police, right? I grew up a big part of my life where my dad was in and out, right? Not always present, not always there, not there to teach me a lot of the lessons that I needed to learn as a man. Where did I learn that? I learned that from my friends, from TV. My homies, right? My friends. A lot of my friends were black guys and black women. A lot of them did not have their fathers around or present or things like that. So where did we all learn these things from? Movies, TV, entertainment. Guys, people of all races in the 90s, late 80s area, I've said it 1,000 times to a lot of my friends, most of us don't have a shining relationship with our fathers. Our fathers were raised differently. They were raised to think that what a man did was work for his family to provide monetarily while mom holds it down at home. Our dads probably thought they were doing the best they could. Now, in African American communities and really any minority community, Mexican American communities, any of them, I don't know what the arrest record for Asian Americans are, but I know the incarceration amount in the African American and Mexican American communities is much higher. It's much higher. There are much more of them are incarcerated. So, again, why is that? Do we fault them for that? Because they've lived in an entire... And I've only realized this recently, which is why I'm talking about it. And I want to hear your thoughts. I want to hear everything about it. I don't want to hear your race baiting bullshit or anything like that. I'm not race baiting, guys. I'm having a conversation. And a lot of people wanted to say, well, why are you talking about this all the time? Guys, this is the conversation that needs to be had. So I feel like if I want a platform and if I want to change the world, it's my responsibility to dedicate one episode of my selfish-ass show to something not about me. Right? So fuck off if you don't like it. Fucking turn it off, unfollow, and subscribe. I really don't care. I don't give a shit. This is important. And I've started to really watch who's trying to disregard this thing and dismiss this thing. And we're going to get into the protesters and the rioting and the looting. I'm going to get into all that, but we're not going there yet. Right? We're not there yet. I've taken a deep inventory as to how criticism is coming along with this case. Now, the police officer who physically knelt on George Floyd's neck has been arrested. He's being tried for third-degree murder and manslaughter, I believe, and so far I don't think the other three have been, right? In the communities where a lot of these people are upset with police. Now, my hometown is one of the cities that's completely destroying the city over the protests and stuff. Columbus, Ohio. There's been a number of issues that's happened between civilians and police there. But guys, I've been arrested multiple times, right? Now, that was self-inflicted, which is the same thing people are saying about African American and Mexican American communities, that they do things to warrant the police presence, i.e. running drugs, handling guns, gang banging, whatever. We're not dumb, right? As Americans and as white Americans, we're not dumb to understand that most Blood, Crip, Gangster Disciples, MX-13, they don't look like me. They just don't, because they're not allowed to in most situations. And also, those people just don't come from that community. Most people in the west side of Columbus, Ohio, rocking a red or blue towel, they're so disconnected from anything that's actually going on with OG gang shit back in Cali. They're running individual little communities. They're not, West Side LA Bloods or, West Side Crips. That's not really it. These are people looking for communities because they've lost the people who were supposed to be their community. Their fathers, their families abandoned them or had to work so they were never around. Guys, you're dealing with a bunch of people who grew up on the streets. They grew up watching TVs, listening to rappers and rock bands and the eccentric sides of life. T.I., Eminem wrote an entire fucking song called Sing for the Moment, where he's talking about, I was so mad at my dad, I fucking knocked him out with a do-rag and a stocking cap, just while listening to rock and rap. He's talking about, I'm influenced by this culture, so we, what did he say? I pick up a gun, cock it, pick up a gun, cock it, and load it for you too. Next time you assault a dude, just tell the judge it was my fault and I'll get sued. Because, guys, he said, that's what he said. That's what we do. These kids hear about us pistol toting, or what did he say? Kids hear us talking about toting pistols. They want to get one. They think this shit is cool, not knowing we're really just protecting ourselves. We entertainers, influencers get the checks in the mail. And, that's what happened. You had people that really came from where they came from and made it out and told their stories, and that's what the fuck it looked like. They were rocking stocking caps, pistols, living the thug life. That's how the fuck they got out, because the system was designed to be very difficult unless they were able to play basketball, baseball, or rap. Let's be real. Up until 5 years ago, we didn't have a lot of black senators and shit. That was new. All this diversity stuff in government and all this diversity in business, that shit is new. So every day, common living out on the street where white people or whatever are judging black people based off what they think they do, walk down the street rapping and all this bullshit that comes with all these fucking stereotypes, that has all fizzled over into police now have a mentality of they need to watch one race of people more than others for some reason. Right? Now, a lot of people listen to what I just said and go, well, Cam, you can't negate the fact that they're running drugs and selling guns. No, you can't. And I'm not here to say that the police are not necessary. The police are very necessary. I've had plenty of occasions, and I'm glad the police picked me up when they did, so I didn't actually hurt somebody in my community. They saved the community by arresting me, and they were very kind to me, which I made that point in my video. When I went to jail, I wasn't treated very kindly by the guards, because to them I'm just some scumbag DUI guy, but I was treated nice through the process. I was given the opportunity to go into the Veterans Treatment Court, which there were all races in the Veterans Treatment Court. Again, it's not a race thing. But in the situation of focusing on Black Lives Matter, you have to at least acknowledge, at best, if you can't acknowledge that police violence against the black community is an actual thing, you have to look at your life and go, I didn't grow up there, I don't know, therefore, I probably shouldn't fucking weigh in on it, right? I grew up and knew people who were treated certain ways for the way they looked, whether it be by teachers, We had a fucking police officer who was an off-duty guard that, he broke up the lunch fights and shit like that. I saw that a lot. I watched grandparents talk shit about black people. I'm just willing to admit that, right? I had shit go on around me when I was like, damn, man, no. From people that, I'm related to, you understand? It just comes from being willing to go, no, man, that ain't right. That's not right. That's not right. How hard is that to do? That's not right. Don't do that. Hey, man, don't say that. Now, let's talk about this too, because I am a huge stand-up comedy fan. What about humor? What do we do with racial humor? Look at Dave Chappelle. Look at Mark Norman. Look at all these Andrew Santinos, Joe Rogans. They all joke about race. Yeah. Guys, don't be an asshole. If you're saying something to hurt somebody, don't do that. If you're being a dick and you're saying something about somebody only because the color of their skin that's derogatory, fuck you. Now, if a group of friends that all know each other and are cool start busting balls and racial jokes come out, that is what it is. That's for that group and only that group to decide what jokes are told. But no one in that group would be okay with it if anyone started beating someone's ass only because of the color of their skin. That would not be okay. They all made a choice that they were going to start busting balls on racially motivated things. Will that continue in 2020? I don't know. I really don't know. Let's talk about a few other things that will or will not continue. What will the police presence in our communities look like? I think by the end of this, let me just stop. Time out. What does Cam think of the looting, the protesting, the rioting? Guys, I obviously don't agree with smashing innocent places or breaking shit, burning it down for no reason. That's not proving anyone's point. I am more of the belief that I think these little fucking Antifa groups, and I even do believe that some police departments may be sending in their own officers dressed in, whatever, Antifa gear, shit, smashing stuff up so that way forces can be escalated. Guys, I've just seen it too many times. I've seen the plans of, well, how can we get our mission accomplished? Guys, in the eyes of military and law enforcement, mission accomplishment is the only goal. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter anything else. Accomplish the mission. Everything else is secondary. That's why we've gotten ourselves in this situation. The day that we started letting police officers being able to pull people out of their cars and go, get out of your car. Well, fucking, why? What did I do? Get out! Fuck, why? What did I do? I said get out! Get on the fucking ground! You can't do that to people. Over a fucking turn signal, you get out of the fucking car! Hey, man! What the fuck? You guys can act like that doesn't happen a lot. I've been a military police officer. I know cops. I know cops that do shit like that. Hey man, fuck you. I'm a cop. Get on the fucking ground. Fuck you. Get on the ground. You can't talk to people like that. You can't. Now, if this person is wielding a gun and he's a threat to the community, he's completely not doing what you're telling him to do, and you got to enforce it. Get on the fucking ground. I'm making a point. Get on the ground. That's different. That's different, right? A man who you don't know if he even has what he's suspected of having, has done what you think he allegedly may have done, all this fucking overrun and completely overrun and over-aggress and just completely dominate a situation. That's why we're where we are now. That's why we are where we are. And that is not just in the African American community. All people have a problem with that. All people have a problem with the fact that if I don't want to wear a seatbelt, I shouldn't fucking have to. And you should not be able to tell me. Now, my kids should. I, as a parent, should have to restrain, put a belt on my kid. I, as a grown adult, should not have to put my fucking seatbelt on. That's a law that's in place, admitted by police, so that way they can get into your car or have contact with you so they can maybe look further into you. Guys, that's why they're there. That's why they're doing that. That's why they're pulling you over for a turn signal. That's why they're stopping you for a headlight. When they could just go, hey, real quick. Yo, you got a headlight out. Alright. That's it. Like everybody else. But no, we're giving fucking tickets. And ooh, you got to go down to the courthouse and pay this fine and take time off of work. Guys, you're asking for this. The system that we've built over time, not one individual, not one race of police, not one race asked for this. The system that we've been building as a whole has asked for this. You cannot sell freedom and then oppress people. It doesn't work. People will wake up one day and go, oh, I'm not so free. Let's talk about the protest, shall we? Guys, a protest is supposed to be inconvenient. It's supposed to fill the streets. It's supposed to make you have to notice it. That's the fucking point of a protest. That's the point of freedom of speech. People are supposed to be able to fill your fucking streets and annoy you so badly that you have to listen to them. And guess what? There's not a fucking thing you can do about it. That's called the right to protest. That's called the right to freedom of speech. Do those people have the right to go smash shit, burn shit, and hurt people? Absolutely not. Those are criminals. Those people have to be handled by the police. The police need to leave the people standing with signs, being peaceful, the fuck alone. And stop going, we told you to be in the house by 8 o'clock, get in the fucking house, to somebody who's standing in the street holding a sign. This is why we're here. This is why we're here. Because standing here peacefully is getting us shot with tear gas for being in my own fucking streets. I tattooed that shit on my arm. You're telling me I can't go stand in my own fucking streets? If I make a choice, okay, they're throwing Molotov cocktails. They're not throwing them at me. I'm here, motherfucker. I'm here looking at you. So now you're telling me I can't be here in my street at 8 o'clock p.m. Fuck you, dog. Tattooed on me for life. Fuck you. That's where that's coming from. That's where that's coming from. Guys, I'm a veteran. I signed up to defend the Constitution of the United States against all enemies, foreign and domestic. Some of y'all motherfuckers just like to forget that little, that sometimes that might look like your ass. It might look like you. It might have done shit you've done. It might wear the same pistol belt and shit. And if you're not willing to look at yourself and be wrong, then you're never going to be willing to look at the world and go, oh, this is how I fix it. Because like every cliche shit ever, it starts with you. I had to look and go, oh, white privilege is a thing. Even though I didn't ask for it, even though I didn't sign up for the membership card and it didn't come with a free tea and a fucking pocket thing to slip in my wallet. It's fucking real because I can walk into a gas station at 11 p.m. and not have somebody start going for the piece under the counter just because of the color of my skin. Right? Okay. So, all the people out here. Now, I want to talk about this too because someone with me saying that people should be allowed to protest in the streets. I fucking hate hearing people go, oh, what if I'm late to work? What if I get fired because I can't fucking whatever? Your boss ain't gonna understand a picture, dink, in 2020, you taking a cell phone picture, going, yo, I got 500 people sitting in front of me right now. What the fuck do you want me to do? If I go forward, they're gonna smash me to death. So what do? Put that bitch in reverse and find another way to work. Everybody needs to stop acting like they work in the only goddamn one lane, one stoplight town in fucking the United States. Turn your fucking ass around and go somewhere else and go to work. We are so fucking selfish. We are so fucking selfish in this country that if it's not literally right here in your fucking face, breaking down your door, trying to rape your family and kill your shit, we don't care. We don't give a fuck. Even if it's put right on your social media. If it's put too much on your social media, now it's inconvenient. Well, fuck. Now these motherfuckers are in the middle of the street. I can't go to work. Man, they shouldn't be allowed to do that. Why? Is it against the Constitution or is it inconvenient? Because what you're asking them to do, which is not protest and not express their freedom of speech, that's against the Constitution. What they're doing, mildly inconvenient. So who's the real fucking asshole here? Wake up, America. Wake the fuck up. Quit defending every goddamn thing. Just stop. Just don't defend it, right? When you see something wrong, do something about it. My last caveat, and I'm going to wrap it up because I'm getting all fired up. We need to put something in place before all this is over. Before where everyone's yelling, no justice, no peace. No justice, no peace. This needs to be a tagline for justice. If we leave this situation not knowing the answer to this question, we've failed. What can community members, civilian people, do when watching the police abuse their power that up to and including the loss of a civilian life? If it has the potential to go there, it looks like it may be life endangering, or he's really hurting him, there needs to be an executive order signed saying you have the right. I thought it was the Constitution. I thought it was the fucking Second Amendment, that you have the right to bear arms against a tyrannical government, to protect yourself against a tyrannical fucking government. A government who's coming into your fucking streets and killing your people. You're supposed to be able to pack your shit to protect yourself. But now, that only works if you look like me and are a veteran and agree that it's a Glock 19 Gen 4 Cerakoted with a mag well flared in the fucking Nikon. Fuck you, bitch. If it's a constitutional right, it's a constitutional fucking right. I'm out.
Please, I can't breathe. Please, man. Please, I can't. Mama.
Get up and get in the car right.
I can't.
They gave y'all the opportunity to get in, bro. I told you can't win.
My knee.
You can't win, man.
I'm through.
I know you in there, you didn't listen. He is human, bro.
His nose.
What I'm saying, you can put him in the car. That's a
We tried that for 10 minutes.
That's a bum ass right now.
You would know
He's not responsive right now. He's not responsive right now, bro. No, bro, look at him. He's not responsive right now.
They did that to
You
him.
just
They did
get
that
out.
to
You
him.
just get back out here, bro.
I've been watching it the whole time.
You just get back out here, bro.
Bro, 7, bro, you're a bum. First thing you want to grab is your mace because you scared, bro. Bro, are you serious? And you gonna keep your thing on your neck? Yeah, I bet you. Bro, I barely touch me like that, dude. I swear I saw the fuck out.
The fact that you guys aren't checking his pulse and doing compressions if he needs that, you guys are on another level.
Oh my God, bro.
And then he just gonna pull him
They
up
just
there
dragging him like
Bro, you damn near dead, bro.